as I was working on the checkouts there, I sort of felt like I was always giving a show. And that's sort of what led me to comedy. Do you know, I wanted to get into comedy because I was always interested in the entertainment industry, but I grew up in a council estate in Manchester. And so I was always attracted to the razzle dazzle. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, I was a big fan of things like The X Factor, Pop Stars, The Rivals, the sort of light-hearted entertainment shows where you'd sit down with your family, dinner on your lap. I was always interested in that, but I never knew sort of how to get into the entertainment industry. We couldn't afford anything like drama school or anything like that. And as I got older, I also took on a part-time job at a supermarket. And as I was working on the checkouts there, I sort of felt like I was always giving a show. And that's sort of what led me to comedy, because I didn't know any other way in. And comedy feels like the one bit of the entertainment industry that you really can just start. Most pubs have a comedy night, tends to be in the corner of a room, and it's not always that pleasant. And so I just started giving it a go. And luckily for me, the first one went really well. And I never stopped after that. The next few did not go as well, to be fully honest. But then we got into the swing of things, and I just fell in love with making people laugh. And I sort of felt like the way I do comedy really reminds me of that banter I used to have on checkouts. So every audience is different, and you go to parts of the country where they're sort of maybe slightly older demographic, a lot more middle class. Like I say, I'm from a council estate in Manchester, so even sort of your turns of phrase can be different. And so it's really important for me to research the area I'm going to, the demographic. And now it's a bit easier because I've been doing it for so long. You can walk in and you can say, oh, they're slightly older, sort of middle class. And every room is different. The excitement for me of being a performer is you sort of, even though we can maybe perhaps judge a book by its cover, you don't really know what you're getting until you step to the stage. And I always lean it that way, I can be a bit more blue, let's say, on stage sometimes, but I really go by what the audience wants, and you can tell within the first 30 seconds. And so if it is a crowd that likes a ruder crowd, so if it's a crowd that likes a ruder joke, I will go that way. If they are more clean, I will go that way. And that's the beauty of it, I think, is it's sort of reminiscent of when I worked on checkouts. Like, every person is different. You have to treat every person like an individual. But the joy with going to sort of a corporate workplace is, people are similar to their colleagues. That's how they ended up in a similar industry. And people tend to be in the similar areas and live in the same place. So it is easy to tailor it once you figure out who you're dealing with. And I remember a few years ago, it was really important for me to champion myself to get a Radio 4 special, because I'd done a lot of the light entertainment shows, like your Strictly It Takes Two. I've appeared in Coronation Street, I've done Live at the Apollo, Would I Lie to You? But it was really important for me to get the Radio 4 side of things, which, is slightly more highbrow. It is slightly more, I would say, a middle class demographic. It's cleaner, it's very clean, has to be very polished, no swearing, no profanity of any sort. And so I was like, I want to show that you can do that side too, because even though I can be fun and frivolous, that's not what everyone wants. I really hope my audiences take away from when I do corporate speaking and public engagements. I really want them to take away sort of a bit of a light relief. Like, even if we're covering things like LGBT rights, social mobility, class, inclusivity in the workplace, I really hope people still take away a bit of a light relief, because I don't know about you, but me personally, I think the world has been heavy over the past few years. And I think we do need to get back to that sense of lightness and levity. And I think the workplace is somewhere we spend most of our time. And as I will always say, I'm a working class man, I'm a grafter, I believe in earning your crust. However, I do believe you can have a nice time while doing it. You can be professional and feel like you're having a great time, pop out for lunch with your colleagues. And so I just want people to go away and feel like, do you know what? I've had a great weekend with my friends, but I've also enjoyed this week with my work friends. And so I hope it brings the workplace together by spending time with me like I used to with all the customers I would serve on checkouts. I mean, I would create accidental coffee mornings where these two ladies that I'd be talking with on the checkouts would then go and have a coffee in the canteen together. And so I hope it just sort of brings everyone together, allows people just to think about things less black and white, and walk away from the day feeling like, oh, I had a good day today and that was fun. Because I think we underestimate the power of fun.